So I finally made it into Beijing, into the city center. This was quite difficult to get here. I'm completely wrecked. Here, the entrance to the palace, the Forbidden City, with a huge picture of Chairman Mao. Alright, I'm inside of the Forbidden City now. I have to say, those dudes in the grey shirts, I don't know where they're supposed to be, like secret police, because if they're all wearing the same shirts and just standing there with their umbrellas, they're not really hidden, are they? They didn't wear police uniforms, so don't know what the deal with that was. I have a whole list of stories of how I eventually ended up here, but everything you can imagine went wrong. Firstly, I barely slept on the plane, and I kind of went straight from the plane to here. I thought I was prepared, having installed Alipay and WeChat, because I knew you couldn't just pay with MasterCard or Visa. But I didn't prepare for the fact that I should have known this, but I didn't have any internet, so I couldn't pay even the ticket from the airport to anywhere, really. So a nice lady who worked at the metro station gave me her hotspot so I could pay for the ticket. But then I had the same problem at the next station. And so it took a while for me to get here. So the second thing that went wrong was the fact that when I checked in my baggage in the Netherlands, I was told that I had to take out my checked baggage in Beijing here before I'm going to Korea, and then recheck it. But then they told me here that my checked luggage will just go straight to Korea, which I thought in the first place. But in the Netherlands they told me, no, you have to take it out. So I packed all my clothes in there. So I guess another thing I have to do today is find some clothes to wear for tomorrow, because this is kind of gross after this stressful day. So the other thing that was wrong was China takes security very seriously. Policemen or security people, you see them like every minute, even like here especially, but also even on the metro, everywhere. My carry-on luggage, which is this bag right here, it's full with batteries, and it also has my drone controller, it has my drone batteries, because you can't check in batteries. But my drone I checked in. I knew in Beijing they don't like drones, so I didn't want to walk around with a drone here. When I tried to pass through security here, they were very interested in my bag, because they were like, what's this, all these batteries? Oh, this is a drone controller, where's the drone? And I said, yeah, well, the drone is in checked luggage. And they wanted to know like my exact flight number and details, so I hope they don't take my drone from this checked luggage. Also, in order to get here, you have to have a ticket. I did buy the ticket, but I didn't think about the fact that I didn't have internet. Even the security guard here gave me a hotspot. But that didn't help, because my email provider is blocked here. So I guess the takeaway from this is definitely come prepared if you're coming to China. And I thought I was prepared, but I really wasn't. I guess it doesn't help that I'm just dead tired. And I didn't sleep for, I slept maybe 1 hour, not even, but it was like half sleep. Anyhow, I am actually quite happy to be here. Look at this. It's quite amazing. Didn't I tell you there was enough security here? Actually, when I was just talking about the security, I thought I had been through it all. Oh, again, I had to go through a whole other security thing, and they scanned my passport again. But now I'm really in the Forbidden City. I thought I was there already, but I wasn't. Now I'm there. So what I understand is that this part of the city is called the Forbidden City because this was where, during the imperial Chinese times, the emperors, the rulers of China could live here. And it wasn't open for the public at all. Since the Chinese Revolution, which ended the era of imperial China, we can now walk here. You know, the thing is, it's so warm. I have shorts, but of course they're in the checked baggage, because I thought I could take everything out of it in Beijing. So now I'm stuck with long trousers. I see something called ice houses. And considering I'm so warm right now, I'm just gonna go to the direction of the ice houses and hope that actually I will just find something that's ice cold. I know I'm deceiving myself, but you never know. Okay, so I didn't find any ice house, but I did find myself lost now. I don't know if it's my lack of sleep, it probably is, but to me everything looks a bit similar. Officially lost in the Forbidden City. And in case at this point you weren't convinced of the security being tight here, maybe this will change your mind again. Yeah. It's a regular thing here. Alright, I'm definitely lost because it really feels like I've walked here before, but I might just be in like a parallel street that looks similar because this I don't remember. Those big lanterns. So I found that they have toilets here. So that was not just any toilet, that was a 4-star rated toilet. I'm very happy they have that here. It's very important. You know, for any tourist location should have at least a 4-star toilet. 5 stars is better, but 4 stars is pretty good. Okay, so I have no internet, but at least my offline map app saved the day. My offline maps actually tell me how to get out of here, which is great. Apparently, if you were not allowed in here back in the Emperor's days, you would be executed on the spot. So there's quite a mystery here. I'm just too wrecked to look into it right now, unfortunately. I was here for like 2 or 2.5 hours, not even. That's definitely not enough. This place is huge. Lots of history. And now they're closing. So I guess when I'm gonna visit China properly, instead of just a transit, I will come again. I'll spend a full day here because it definitely deserves a full day. The vibe is definitely way different than within the Forbidden City when you step out. Now it's more like I imagined Beijing. But since I got out of the metro exactly at the Forbidden City, I didn't see it yet. From the metro you obviously can't see it either, but this is more like real life happening. So this airport is apparently, what I read, the biggest airport in the world by area. And the architecture is also quite insane. Yeah, it is indeed huge. And the architecture is quite crazy indeed. From the outside it also looks ridiculous. Maybe I will put in a photo or something. It's really some kind of super project, I think. It only opened a few years ago, I believe in 2019. So it's only been open for 5 years. It's a very nice airport, it's very clean. Unfortunately the garden is closed, but the fact that there is a garden here is pretty cool. Alright, so I didn't change my clothes or grew a beard in a few minutes, but I'm here now, 3 weeks later on my way back. And now the garden is open, so I'm just gonna have a look. This is actually, and it's even, we're outside. There's no roof, this is just outside. And it's pretty cool. You can just chill here when you're waiting for your flight. So even if you just have a transfer here, you don't get to enter Beijing. You get to enter this place. In this way, you do get to see a little bit of China. I'm impressed. I mean, I did get to enter at least, but if I was just transferring here and it was open, not like last time, it wasn't open somehow. I don't know why it wasn't open, but this is quite nice. And it's quite funny that you see in the background, it's just like a regular airport. And then on this side, I'm just outside. And it feels a bit bizarre, but it's kind of cool. So I'm back in Beijing, but I'm in some kind of business district with a huge shopping mall. Also, look at that building in the back. It's a pretty cool, modern building. I do feel China is a little bit harder to travel through than Korea. Korea has been very easy. I don't know why this is a thing. And imagine, this is not a weekend. This is like, what is it even? This is just a Thursday night. This is just a Thursday night. Everyone is dancing, having fun. I don't know if the Chinese are just very outgoing and extroverted, or I'm just so used to the Koreans now after 3 weeks. Now this is what I call a lively area. Everyone's looking at me though. Am I doing something illegal? I don't want to end up in Chinese prison on my last day. I feel like I've been deprived of emotions for the last few weeks in Korea. Now you see everyone is smiling and having fun, and people are looking at me, and random people asking me where I'm from, and they're like genuinely curious. And it's completely different than in Korea. And what the hell, that panda? That is pretty cool. I'm actually surprised to see a church. There's a really big church here. Almost ran into a kid. It was both our faults. I was looking at the church. And she was not looking anywhere. I don't know where she's going. Disaster was avoided. Everyone is dancing. This is just throughout the whole city, like everyone is dancing. When I arrived in Beijing on the way to Korea, I really wasn't a fan, because I was dealing with the struggle of how everything works, and paying is difficult, and like figuring out the transportation system, and no one speaks English. But then once you get used to it, it's so nice. The people are so open. This city surprised me. I just checked into my hotel, which is actually on this street, in a nice location. Especially since I don't have much time here, it's nice that I'm near this place. I'm gonna check out the Drum Tower and Drum and Bell Tower, which is like a 10-minute walk from here, and it's supposedly one of the landmarks of Beijing. I want to experience it in a proper trip after seeing this. This is a Thursday night, can you imagine? See, the only thing in China is that even getting something as simple as this drink is difficult, because I was trying to spend my cash. Like when you give them cash, they look at you like, what is this? You just have to use Alipay or WeChat, which I do use. I was trying to spend my cash. It is like a whole ordeal. I kind of enjoy that struggle though. Nice. I'm gonna enjoy my drink on my walk to the Bell Tower. The tower is there, and it's nice, but it's just too dark. I was hoping it would be lit up, but in real life it's impressive, but on my GoPro in low light you basically can't see it. Something else that's also great is that there's just bins everywhere, because in South Korea they don't put bins anywhere, not even in the metro, not even on the streets, so you're always just taking away the trash with you. So if you want to see my next trip, which will not be China, but it's another country, you'll see it on the channel, so stay subscribed, or subscribe if you haven't done so. And one day there will be more videos of China, because I'm definitely gonna be back here, gonna do a proper trip to China. This country is intriguing, and I've only scratched the surface. I've actually just scratched the surface of Beijing, let alone of the country. Subscribe if you want to see more. See you next time. Bye bye.